Hey, this is Notser, and this is a look at the Tier 8 British cruiser, Edinburgh. She has 36,400 health, a top speed of 34.1 knots, 12 152mm guns, 6 torpedoes, a surface detect of 9 kilometers, and 70 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, basic firing training, basic survivability, faster torpedo rearm, last stand, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment again. We're on the map Loop, and this is going to be a unique experience. I have the point of view of an opponent, as well as mine. The opponent is Doctor, and Doctor was kind enough to give me the replay. He is a Tier 10 US destroyer, the Gearing. And his team appears to be, at least from my point of view at this point, going for a BC strategy, whereas my team has gone, well, tried to take A, and of course we took A. No one on the enemy team so far was over there. There was an enemy destroyer and this Der Grosse, but that was an easy cap. B point, just as easy. No enemy has remotely come anywhere close to the B point. They're mostly trying to stop my team from capturing C point, and I was just trying to harass from smoke. Sound familiar? What British cruiser doesn't want to harass from smoke, right? That's what we live for. It doesn't matter that we might not be getting as much damage. We're not risking the ship. So here's the point of view of Doctor. Doctor is the Gearing, my beloved, but I don't want him to be successful in this game. However, I do root for success in my opponents, as long as I can find a way to beat them, right? Now, he's already done a couple chip damage, and it looked like he sent his torpedoes towards his enemy Atago. Of course, we know the Atago sent torpedoes, and he's got to try and kick that butt in. He hits 2 torpedoes on the enemy cruiser, not enough to kill him. He hits 2 torpedoes on the enemy turrets, not enough to kill him. He sets floods on all of them, forcing out damage control, if they have it. If they don't, well, they're probably gonna die. And Doctor fires in. Dr. Citadel, by the way, that's his name. Dr. Citadel. I like the name Doctor. So Doctor takes out the enemy cruiser, and he's also harassing the turrets. Now look at their team, Doctor's team. They are really concentrated over in this BC area, and they're really pulled back from the point. It's very dangerous. They're allowing my team, the evil Reds from this point of view, to gain an advantage in points. And while all this is going on, that Akizuki that's on the western flank is my priority. If I can take him out, I feel like that is going to help my team, because there's not a lot of destroyers in the game. There's only 4 total. And we know the British cruisers, they're built to kill destroyers. So Dr. Citadel just harassing. His torpedoes are still on cooldown. I believe he got incapacitated. So at least one set is not going to be relevant for 2 minutes, but another set is relevant, and he's looking to send it towards possibly one of these battleships that are trying to capture C point. I doubt they will ever capture it. As long... Ooh, looky what we've got here, right, Doctor? Doctor's like, I've got a prescription for you, Mr. Turpitz, and it's the bottom of the sea. And he sends out his kill-securing shot, and he gets the kill. No one was firing on him. That's exactly what you need to do, Doctor. I don't fault you, and in fact, I will praise you, okay? Kill-securing is good. It's good, okay? You keep your team in the fight. You take out threats that are so low that they just have to die. And Doctor's torpedoes are headed off towards the Izumo. Izumo looks like he's going to stay in the area, and maybe he's going to set a flood that will stick. The Izumo has to have been set on fire. He just has to. And yeah, he's taking a lot of damage, and he's still taking the flood dot. Now, I know what I did in this fight at this moment. I was trying to push forward north of A. You notice the last known position for me, which was over by A, is just southeast of A. I was pushing forward, trying to find the Akizuki. The Akizuki is just to the west of Doctor, And Doctor secures the kill on the Izumo. It was a joint effort. He just got lucky. He was the last person to do damage to the enemy. The Missouri, the governor, is moving forward. Broadside, of course. It's very dangerous. But the enemy team, the enemy team is a little spread out compared to Doctor's team. Doctor is very concentrated. His team knows exactly what they want to do. Stick together. We can do this. It's not really okay that we haven't taken the base. You can see Doctor's team chat is a little bit more hostile than maybe mine was, and we'll get to prove that in a minute. But he's going to send his torpedoes, which are both available. And is he going to pull a Notser? That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. No, of course not. He's not going to run into the island. Are you mad? That seems just insane. So, I'm on the other flank, firing my heart out, and we're going to go over there in a split second. But Doctor's just trying to get a little bit of damage, just a touch. His torpedoes are still in the water. They're still going off towards that battleship. Are they going to hit the turrets? He does a quick check. The first set is definitely not going to hit, but the second set might. And this is very dangerous, Doctor. If the Turpitz wants to fire on you, he can easily, and yes, of course he's firing on him. He's got AP loaded, and the Doctor, somehow he's able to avoid all but 2,000, but the Turpitz is not able to avoid 2 torpedoes, and he's taken out by Dr. Citadel. And the enemy Missouri moves off. So, my point of view, my team has all the capture points. Enemy Edinburgh is trying to advance on me. He sent torpedoes. I was sitting in my smoke, undetected, just firing on the enemy. And I chose to use hydroacoustic because I felt like torpedoes were the only option for the enemy. And nobody's spotting on my team at all. Nobody is seeing this battleship. It's kind of annoying. My smoke will be ending very soon, though. So it's not really a big deal, but I just can't risk the ship. My team is up in points, but down in ships. And the enemy team is very concentrated at this stage of the game. But one thing that is nice about my position is I'm behind an island, and I can send out the single launch torpedoes directly at the Turpitz, hoping that he will be preoccupied, maybe distracted. He won't realize the threat that is imminent. Maybe we'll kill him. Do significant damage. Well, we can't kill him unless someone else does damage. I don't do 60,000 damage in my torpedoes. I only have 3. Yes, 3 per side. Not a lot. But it looks pretty good. The Turpitz is still going the path he has chosen. The enemy team on the C point has eliminated all my teammates, and there's just no support there, and the Turpitz is going. Oh no! He sees it. Of course he sees it. I pop my smoke so I don't take any damage. Is he gonna actually speed past the torpedoes? No, he doesn't. He takes 2 of 3, and now he's at 20,000. Friendly arpeggio. Live, my friend, live! He gets to roughly 6 or 7k, and the Turpitz needs to rearm, but the friendly cruiser's torpedoes will make contact and take out the target. So we've protected A, 2 versus 1. The Turpitz was very, very, very overextended. Not a surprise at all, right? My teammates are trying to take back B point. We do have a friendly destroyer over there. That Akizuki, that little slime, he has moved all the way to the eastern side of the map, and we're going to rejoin from the point of view of Dr. Citadel. And, oh, looky there. There's a Montana right on the other side of this island, and you know what works really well against Montanas? Torpedoes. Lots and lots of torpedoes. So he sends out his torpedoes, and he pops his smoke. The intent, obviously, he's going to do as much damage as he can and not risk the ship at all. Seems reasonable, Notser. It absolutely does. And I don't know that my team will be successful in capturing B point. At least 1 torpedo, yeah, 1 torpedo makes contact with the Montana. Dr. Citadel, his team, has such a huge advantage of numbers around B point that they could easily wipe out all my teammates over there. And the Montana's just overextended at this point. He has no way out. If he shows too much of his side, he's going to get punished by the battleships. If he sails directly away, he's probably going to set on fire and die. This is why some battleships are really good and some battleships are really bad at brawling. But let's be fair, not a single battleship is going to do a good job in the scenario that is 4 to 5 enemies. And this enemy, Chapaya, from my point of view now, he's backing up. Very easy broadside shot. We take him out. Most of my enemies are on the other side of islands, and I can assist. This Der Grosse pushing in very aggressively. I do not want him to push in aggressively. I've got to try and keep my teammates alive, so we have a better chance of winning this game, because right now, the concentrated team will probably be able to focus down and kill off any stragglers on mine. But I'm not going to pass this up. I don't need to use my smoke. This guy is not going to fire on me. He's too distracted. All I got to do is do as much damage as I possibly can to keep the friendly cruiser, the friendly destroyer alive. And we get the kill on the Der Grosse. Enemy Arpeggio Takao is perfectly broadside, and I'm going to punish the perfectly broadside cruiser with waterline shots. Now, some of you might be going, why don't you use your smoke? Use your smoke. I don't have anyone scouting for me. If I deny myself... Oh, nice. Citadels, we needed that. He hasn't fired his guns. Absolutely. This is what we expected. That's why we popped hydroacoustic, and we need to avoid these torpedoes. So I'm going to try and rotate as quickly as I can through the turn. Hard to starboard. Oh, man. So close. We take out the enemy cruiser. Finally, we've caught up to the enemy Akizuki. And of course, I'm going to try and fire on it. I get a quick glance of Dr. Citadel on the enemy team, and oh, Dr. Citadel. There's only one enemy left on their team that could possibly send 2 sets of 5. Dr. Citadel sent torpedoes my way, but hydroacoustic being popped for the enemy cruiser gave me plenty of time to avoid it. And I just want to kill this enemy Akizuki. I don't want him to stay alive. Look at my team. We've only got 3 left. I am showing more side than I probably should, but the British cruiser will trade all day with enemy destroyers. We've got such a massive heal advantage that it's okay. 1-to-1 trades, you will always win them as a British cruiser. Now the enemy team has captured B point, and we're going to join Dr. Citadel as he's trying to hunt down and destroy my friendly Fletcher. Don't get him! We need him alive. It's going to be 2 versus 4 if he gets him. Oh, he's so dead here. Yep. Friendly Fletcher taken out for me. Dr. Citadel did a great job for his team. No mercy. Trying to win the game. He's going to probably go over to A point. So from my point of view, I knew that there was a destroyer, and he was pushing from B point, probably going to A point. I tell my teammate, just run. We've got about 200-point advantage and 4 minutes left. It's not quite a guaranteed win if we just run away, but it's going to extend the time that the enemy team has to spend not capturing the base, which will probably guarantee a win for my team, the heroes. Clearly, Dr. Citadel has done a great job for his team. 6 kills for his team. He's done a very Gearing-esque game. I love the gearing. I love even seeing the gearing do a great job, but we did a pretty good job too. 140,000, and I'm not done yet. I'm trying to get the Akizuki. So I enter C point. I see that the enemy battleships are on the other side, and I feel like the destroyer, last known position, he must be going for A point. My intent is to kill the Akizuki and capture C point while the enemy team is distracted. And sure enough, the enemy destroyer shows up at A point, and the enemy destroyer shows up at C point. We aim, we fire, we take him out very quickly. Of course, that's what the Brits are great at. Earn Kraken Unleashed. I don't want to take torpedoes, of course, and we're probably going to take torpedoes. We need to angle. Please avoid. Boy, it's so weird. The Brits, they maintain huge amounts of speed in the turn, so you need to make sure, and just barely right. It's always close. You need to make sure that you treat it as if it's never going to scrub off any speed in the turn. It doesn't work like any other ship in that regard. The British cruisers will probably pull themselves into torpedoes if you don't actively try to drop your speed. And conversely, you could use the fact that they accelerate through the turn to your advantage. You should be able to just push on through and use the momentum to carry you through the opening in the torpedo. And that's really important to recognize when you're playing the Brits, so you can maximize their potential. We captured C point, we lost the friendly cruiser at A point, and I was considering, we're about 140 points above the enemy, there's a minute 15 left, they're going to have 2 bases to R1. Can the enemy team win the game? Do I need to stay in the area? Try and work down an enemy battleship? And no, Notser, of course you don't have to. The only way we win the game is if I live, so I'm going to run. I don't care. I've already told the friendly cruiser my intent. Just send the torpedoes to maybe slow them down. The 2 battleships really didn't maximize their space. They were just on each other the entire time, and then all of a sudden, the 1 cruiser that's left on the enemy team, that cruiser can beat you because he manipulates his concealment, he has smoke, islands, torpedoes. It's a huge advantage for me. It's a huge advantage. Yeah, they got big guns. Big deal. Yeah, they got a lot of health. Big deal. I have objective control. I've got the ability to attack from an unknown direction, and all I need to do is avoid contact with the enemy at this point. So we're going to win this game. We've got 40 seconds left. There's no way the enemy team can catch up to us. And at this point, people are like, wow, that doctor, he did a pretty good job for his team. He did do a good job for his team. But I'm afraid it's just not going to be enough. It's an interesting match because there are 2 Kraken Unleashed in it. I have played in a match with 3. That seemed unbelievable. But I didn't get the replay from the point of view of my opponent. I got this replay, and it was very interesting to see what he did. He used a lot of stealth, torpedoes, played about as well as you can play in the gearing, avoided a lot of contact with the enemy. It just so happens that his team, and maybe a little bit himself, didn't play the objective quite as aggressively as they needed to, and they lost on points. That's all they did. We earned Kraken Unleashed, 5 kills, 2 torpedo strikes, a base capture, a citadel, 144,000 points of damage done. Not bad as a tier 8 in a tier 10 match, mind you. I earned 2,686 base XP. Dr. Citadel earned 1,819. He would have matched me almost point for point if he would have had the 1.5 modifier for winning the match. So very similar performances for our team. Of course, I'm the tier 8, he's the tier 10. You gotta do as much as you can as a tier 10, no matter who you are. And if you're the bottom tier, you really have to just let the enemy team make mistakes, and hopefully you can exploit that. And that's what we did. Exploit the fact that they didn't play the objective as well as they needed to, and we were on the flank. Plain and simple. And we used our consumables to protect ourselves and win the game. I hope this was enjoyable to see both point of views. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.